Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. I'm live. It's Wednesday, and I'm going to be trying to do some jelly printing directly on this vase. And it's a DIY ceramic decor. I think it was from Michael's or maybe from HomeSense. I can't remember. This looks like Michael's writing to me. So it was $21.99 Canadian, but I know I didn't pay that. I bought this several months ago, so I'm sure it was on sale. I wouldn't have paid that for this, and I've had it set aside to try to gel print directly on it. It's got a really porous finish, so we're going to get to that in a bit. I'm just going to say hello to people in the live stream, in the chat room. If you're watching the replay, this is a live show. You can fast forward to where the project starts. So I'm going to welcome in my friends. Hi, Shaz. Hey, Zenjen. Hey, Laverne. Good to see you guys. So I'm going to try this. I think it should work. I've seen people gel print on like plates and stuff, I think. So I don't see why it won't work because it's not a glossy finish. I don't think I have to prime it with gesso or anything. Hi, Marty. And if it doesn't work, I can maybe just, I can collage on it. You know, it's not no big whoop. I was going to do a trial on the bottom, but the bottom only has a very small area that would work. So I thought I'll just try it live and we'll see. Hey, Linda and Tim, good to see you guys. I'm also doing a technique inspired by Therese's Crafty Cabana, and I will link her in chat now, the video that inspired this. Not the vase part, but the technique I'm going to try. And I'll put it in the description as well. But she used alcohol inks on her gel plate, and she used transparency film to kind of spread it out in a really kind of like rock formation way, and I thought it was really cool. So I'm going to try a version of that. I'm actually going to use a stencil as well, which she didn't use a stencil. But because this is home decor, if this does work with the alcohol inks, I've pulled out some alcohol inks, then I would spray it with this UV resistant gloss after it's done, because alcohol ink is not UV resistant. So I'll be repeating a lot of this stuff, just sort of waiting for some people to come in. And just an update, I worked on this piece a little bit more. I'd shown you this, oh gosh, quite a while ago. And I finally got back to it, and all I did was I just used white and titanium buff with some glazing liquid to thin it out, to kind of reverse paint out the birch trees. So the birch trees are from one of my stencils. So once this is done, I think I'll do a video where I've taken pictures where I show the progress. Speaking of video showing the progress, I did do a impromptu flip through of this Tall Tales meander journal that I started on my my New Year's Day live stream. And I did a flip through for hashtag flip through Friday. And in that, I showed screenshots of the pages before I added the collage and the extra painting and stuff. So that's on my channel from last Friday if you want to check that out. Hi, Penka. Hi, Gina. Hi, Kathleen. I liked your collage you did on your abstract landscape on your Instagram. It was very cool. Hey, Jane. The other update, last Wednesday, I was on Anne Lar's channel and we played with Shrinky Dinks, and I used acrylic paint markers on the Shrinky Dinks. And I had varnished this one using this Deco Art Duraclear varnish, and I waited till it dried to see if it worked. It did work. So I added another coat. So that's the one I did of Janet's cat, Jimmy. And then I went ahead and varnished the Lucy one. So that's the non-varnish side, that's the varnish side. And then the one I did of Malibu, it's not very successful, but I'm gonna send that to Dee Dee, and I'm gonna send Jimmy to Janet. And they can attach it maybe to a journal or throw it in the garbage. Hey, Dee Dee. And this little hedgehog, I varnished both sides. So the varnish does seem to stay on pretty well. So that worked good. So I'm going to put that to go into my Happy Mail. Fun stream, Dee Dee. I did go back and watch some of the beginning where you collaged on that train case. I feel like my mom had a train case and I used it to put my makeup in when I was in dancing ages ago. And okay, so we're going to do some gel printing on here. I do have some other updates to show, but I want to get this going. This is going to have to sit on here a while, I think. So let's get started and then I'll show some more stuff that I've been doing in the meantime. I do want to show this first. That's the French side. Oh no, it's the English side. So I was telling Dee Dee was having some snacks today. I'm not going to eat these, but I was telling chat that I am addicted to these tzatziki flavored chickpea crisps that I found at Costco. They are like delicious. They got that little tang. Yummy. So I told Christine Cat and Paste that I would show that. So she's not here, but she's going to watch the replay to see what the crisps are. Okay, so I do have some hauls and stuff to show, but let's get started. So I was explaining that this is a DIY ceramic decor, I think from Michaels. I got it on sale. I'm sure I didn't pay $22 for it. And it's unfinished. It's kind of rough. So I think it should work on the gel plate. So I'm going to just put that aside. We're going to pull that out and plop it on the plate in a bit. And I explained that I'm doing a technique that was inspired by Therese's Crafty Cabana. Hi, Christina. I have an ad, so I'm just gonna. So a technique inspired by Therese's Crafty Cabana, and I put the link above. And here's a link again. And she used alcohol inks with a transparency film to make some cool patterns. So I'm gonna sort of follow her technique, but put my own spin on it. Hi, Belinda. Good to see you. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm gonna first put a layer of acrylic paint on here using the stencil. This is one of my designs called Falling Leaves. So you don't have to use a stencil. Therese's Crafty Cabana, she didn't use a stencil, but I thought it might look cool if it works to have sort of a design on here. I was also inspired by maybe some raku pottery. I'm just going to show you guys my notes app. Another thing in my notes app is I had this, I was talking in Janet's chat on Monday about show the picture I sent you. So I had sent her this picture. I told her that her cat Jimmy really wants her to get the color cubes because I was watching Becky Traeger Art. She does a lot of haul videos, and she showed her cat sitting on the color cubes, and I thought that was hilarious. So Janet didn't fall for it, so that's, yeah. But anyhow, raku is firing a dramatic low temperature ceramic process where glowing hot pottery is pulled directly from a kiln and subjected to rapid cooling. This thermal shock creates unpredictable, one-of-a-kind surface finishes characterized by metallic lusters, deep crackle patterns, and smoky black surfaces. So I'm not going to do like black on mine, but like this is kind of the colors that you get from raku. So whether or not I'm going to achieve that, I don't think I will, but that was my sort of my thought process, or my inspiration. Hi, Beth. Okay, let me just put my iPad back there so I can see chat. And let's try this stuff. And then while it's drying, I will show what I've been up to and some other items. Beth does pottery. That's cool. Okay, so on one of her prints, she put down some acrylic paint and then she did some bubbles to make spaces. I don't have time to do bubbles. Therese's Crafty Cabana, she does very nice videos, very well edited, very well narrated, neat and tidy, and very like super, like just awesome. So check her out. My videos are not that or my lives are not that, you know, curated, let's say. So we just kind of fly by the seat of our pants. So one of them, she did some gold and then she put the bubbles, and I've done gel printing with bubbles, but it's not really something you can do live because it takes too long, I think. So she used gold. I'm going to use a combination of this metallic green and metallic sapphire. So that's going to be my base. So I'm going to put the green. I do love that green. I'm going to put this Deco Art metallic paint. It's very bloopy. I got a bit of oil on that. And I'm just going to move this stuff aside here for a second. And like I said, I do have some other, you know, stuff, what I've been up to show, but I'm going to get this started first. Usually I spend 20 minutes yapping and then I run out of time. So today I'm gonna just kind of get to it. So I could put down, I've got one side that's got paint. Let's put that side down. And then I'm just gonna pick up through the spaces. And how's my sound? Because I've noticed the last few times that I have been streaming, like I have my microphone on, but you can't really tell. So is the sound okay? So Candy's saying that Beth does terrific pottery and she has a wheel. Oh, I think I remember that. Didn't you set up your wheel in your garage, Beth? So the reason I chose this stencil is because I liked the little openings. I thought that would be cool. But we're also going to, so we can use that and then something else perhaps sometime. I'm going to take this off. Oh, that's good. So I wanted to make sure there's like spots there for the alcohol ink to show through. And I think there is, so I'm going to let that dry and then we'll start adding the alcohol inks. So while we're waiting for that to dry, I could show a few more things of what I've been up to. Sounds good to you? Hi, Anne. Anne is in the Atlanta airport. She's visiting Dee Dee. No, she's going to, I forgot where you're going. You told me. I think you're going up to Connecticut or something like that. So that reminds me, Anne won't be streaming next week. So I'm going to stream this week and next week. And then Anne's going to take the last 2 weeks of August. And then I'll probably do an impromptu live here and there. All right, so one of my updates was also that I was on Coloring View's channel. She wants to learn how to do image transfers. So these are the image transfers I did while I was at her channel. Hopefully there's not a lot of glare on that. So I liked this one, how it turned out. That one turned out really well too. So check out Coloring View's channel, that video that we worked together. I'll try to link it in the description of this chat. Hi, Sherry. So Anne, Dee Dee's waving at you. Now I did those two worked. I did one that was not successful. This was the one that was not successful. It was a lady with a funny dress. So while I was streaming with Coloring View, I quickly wiped off the magazine image with my baby wipe to reveal the picture again. I didn't do it this time. And then I let it dry overnight. And then the next day or two, I can't remember which, I tried it again. I did a do-over. This one I had done with this purple dioxazine Liquitex Basics I have, and it hasn't been working for me lately, and I don't know why. Maybe it's like the bottom of the barrel of the paint and it's not a good consistency anymore. Like it's a big container that I've had it a long time. So I don't know if that's why that one's not working. So I used Liquitex Basics and I got this one. So this is the second try with that same image. So I used the Liquitex Basics Mars Black for the base of it. And then I colored it using my grabby, the Sharpie paint markers. Thanks, Belinda. Hi, Apple. So I colored it using on the gel plate. So the image was down there in black. So I colored it using the Sharpie markers that dress her lips, her eyes, her eyebrows, her hair. And then I used pan pastels to colorize her skin. And then I picked it up with this white acrylic, metallic white. So I did post a short about this on my YouTube channel, just describing basically what I just described. So, so that was the do-over that I did, that I started on View's channel, and we had a lot of fun. You should check out that stream, or check View out in general. She's just a blast. Okay, this isn't quite dry yet. I'm going to just pick up a little bit more of that corner just because that's going to take a while. I like the texture there, but I want to be able to put the alcohol inks on soon. Okay, so that's almost dry. I did find these stickers at the Dollarama. I wanted to show you guys. These are Renoir metallic and Matisse metallic. So I thought those were pretty cool. You can see those. And then these were really cute. These were also at the Dollarama, and they're like they're really cute little stickers. So I want to share that. I'll show the coloring stuff when we're waiting for the final print to dry. And I do have my Prisma. It's still wet. Okay, I'm gonna put my fan on it. Put my fan on it while I keep showing stuff. How about that? Okay, so I did color in this little book. It's a very fun little size. I took it, we were getting the car maintenance done, and I did this while I waited, just using Inktense pencils. I bought some new Inktense pencils when I went to the art store with my sister. So I just brought my new pencils with me, and this is what I did with the pencils and a water brush, and I had a white gel marker with me. So that was really fun. Hey, View, we were just talking about you. Were your ears burning there? And then View did this page too, because we both have this book, and she had little steam coming out of her coffee cup. So I had to copy her, and I put little steam coming out of my coffee cup. So it's kind of like a buddy color. We just kind of both did the same page. And then for Piggy Pen's hashtag dogs versus cats, I did a page in this adorable dogs book that Heart House had sent to me. And that's my Lucy page. So I made the dog in the middle look like Lucy. And then I don't usually do like this fine detailed kind of coloring, repetitive like mandala type. But I just, ever since Heart House gave me this book, I've been eyeing this page to make it look like Lucy. So that was lots of fun. So that's on my Instagram page. Let's see how this is doing. It's still wet. Okay, and then I did, last time I streamed, I was showing that my Kirby book, this Kirby Mythic World, and Joanne said she was doing the turtle page. So I said, well, I'll buddy color it with you. And then Carol, my quiet corner, also buddy colored it. And I think Coloring View, I think you started coloring this page too, didn't you? So I made the mistake. Okay, see all the lines? See the lines there? So I thought I'm going to try adding, here, let me just move this out of the way so I can put this down. I'm going to try adding, sorry, just going to move this fan to the side here. I'm going to try adding satin medium And then I thought I saw someone use, they put their satin medium on, they put wax paper, and then they closed their book. And it let them put watercolor on it really well. But when I did it, I done a trial on cardstock and it worked. But then when I did it in this book, the watercolor wouldn't stay on there. It just beat it up. So then I went out and got myself some Daniel Smith. Some Daniel Smith transparent watercolor ground. So I put that on using a foam brush. And I just left the striations in there and I just let it open. I just let it dry open. And then I used my Kuretake granulating paints for the sky and the water and his body. And then I added like acrylic paint pens, Languo pens, ink tents activated with water. I couldn't really add colored pencil because it was scratching off the finish. So there's no colored pencil on that. So it took a little while. It didn't take as long as it would have taken with colored pencils, I think, though. So I don't plan to do that again anytime soon, that whole process, but it was a fun experiment. Hi, Jolu. Okay. All right, I think this paint's finally dry. So in terms of coloring, I've been working on my page for Piggy Pens' collab to do all the pages in Emily Oberg's book called Fantasy World, but we're not allowed to show it until she does the video for it. Okay, so now we're back to the gel plate. This is all dry. So I'm going to start adding my alcohol inks, and I'm going to show you the colors. So here's the colors I have. And I might start, if I'm thinking of the Raku, this smolder color is kind of cool, and this mineral. These are the pearls, but you have to shake them really well. And the celestial, I don't know if I'm gonna, yeah, the celestial might be cool. I think I'm gonna put those on first and then add some of the other regular alcohol inks. Okay, so I don't know, this is just, I haven't tried this specific technique before. I've used alcohol inks on the gel plate lots of times, but know that it will stain your plate. That's why this plate is so yellow. Okay, so then what she did, I think she sprayed it with alcohol. I don't think I need to do that quite yet. She took her transparency film and she just kind of like dragged it to make like lines like that. Okay. And then let's use the celestial. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Karen. Thank you for the thumbs up. Karen usually goes live on Wednesday as well. She does a lot of watercolor and gel plating. And I believe she's doing, she did like watercolor month. I think she went on every day for watercolor month. So I'm just gonna smush this around. I just want to get these ones that are sort of pearlescent on there first. And this is Splendor. Okay, I gotta move this up a bit more. So I've got Smolder, Celestial, and Splendor is more of a orange. The pearlescent ones, you have to shake them. Hi, Hermie. So I don't know how this is gonna look. I think I'm gonna spray it this time. That's with some alcohol. It's getting a little muddy there, but that's okay. And now let's use some green. This one I don't have to shake. I don't know why I'm shaking it. This is like a light green. Okay. And she just kind of rotated her transparency to make it less muddy. So this one I didn't spray. We'll see. Just trying to go lightly. So this isn't going to look like raku at all, but you know, what the heck. I'm finding it's easier for me to drag it if I'm using like the corner. Okay. Okay. Let's use this wild plum. This one I'm almost out of. And if you find there's a bit of resin in alcohol ink, so you want to make sure you don't put this in a spray bottle because you don't want to aerosol resin. You don't want to breathe that in. And always work in a well ventilated area. So that's why I can spray this, because there's no resin in this. So I can spray it. Okay, let's do some of this pink. I probably should have watched her video a little more closely. I didn't want to be, I like to be inspired by people, but I kind of like to do it my own way. I don't want to just copy. I did find that it did seem to spread a bit better with the alcohol ink. I feel like, let's see if I can. So that's the, I like that in terms of giving that sort of raku colorization. And remember, the vase I'm doing isn't super wide, so I'm gonna have to choose which part I want to use. Okay, let's put in a little bit of this boysenberry, which is like a, it's also sort of close to wild plum. Just do a couple spots there. I don't want to overwhelm it. And then we'll pick this up either with gold or with the white metallic. Okay. Okay, and let's use some terracotta. This it's more of an earthy color. I'm interested to see how it looks, Marty. It's gonna do some terracotta, some of those areas, sort of tone it down a bit. Might get muddy, but you know, that's okay. That's okay. Okay. Need a lot, because this transparency is so wide. Might be better to just like cut it into strips. Might be easier to manage, I think. I'm going to do that. I'm just finding it too cumbersome to have like the whole strip. And then you can always use this after, right? Like that would be a cool overlay. All right, so I think I want some blue. This is some mermaid, which is this one, just for some brightness. I did get some crimson out, but I don't think I'm going to use it. Oh, yeah, so sometimes I just can't get the lid off. Oh, gosh. Come on, lid. Man, that one doesn't want to come off. I have to get my hubby to help me with that one. Let's try it again. Squeeze, turn. There we go. Did it. I did it. Beth wants to say stop. Well, I want all the paint covered. So there's still some areas that don't have any color. So I will stop after this. I think I will. And then, okay, so I'm gonna just do, I do have a lot of like blue in my decor, so now this is really thick, so that could be a problem in terms of getting it to pick up on the plate, on the vase. Do want those kind of line things in there. So I think that looks cool. I'm going to use my little blower to try to dry it a bit. Hi, Ivy Pearl Clever Swirl. This is that ink blower, Tim Holtz ink blower. So I'm not trying to move the ink so much as I'm trying to dry it, because I'm going to stamp off some crackle texture. Okay, so now to stamp off, it's still a little wet in some areas. Hi, NC. Okay, so I've got this crackle stamp by Stamping Up, and I've got this alcohol lift ink by Tim Holtz. So let me just make sure all my lids are on. Ooh, that one wasn't on. Okay, so I'm going to stamp off using this, and I want to stamp it onto something. What if we stamp it onto this? Okay. So here you can see the transparency through there. You can see that transparency. So you could keep going after to fill those up. So I'm going to stamp on, stamp off. So I've got this alcohol lift ink. I don't know that you totally need it to stamp off the alcohol ink, but I'm going to go ahead and use it. So I'm going to Let's see, did it work? I can't really see it. Let's try that again. I can kind of see it there, yeah. So this technique with using the transparency with the alcohol ink, that is inspired by Therese's Crafty Cabana. And I recommend you check her out. I'm not sure if the crackle's gonna show very much, but we'll just go for it. You can hear Lucy under my desk, I think. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that. I can see it a little bit. You see that, how it, you see the light coming through the crackle a little bit? Okay, all right, let's pick that up and we're gonna try to lift it onto this DIY ceramic decor from Michaels. And I'm feeling like I like this area here. I think I'm gonna put it here. And then I'm gonna have to stick a book on top of it. So let me get, actually, I'm gonna get a mat so I can move it out of the way and then put a book on it after. Because once it's on there, I don't wanna make it smooshy. Does that make sense? And I'm just gonna use this spray to clean off this stamp. Now remember, I said this at the beginning, alcohol inks are not, they are not UV resistant. So I plan, if this works, I plan to spray my piece using this Krylon UV resistant gloss. Once I've got this on the plate, I do have a alcohol ink gel plate piece that I've done that it's been out and exposed and it seems to be doing okay. So I'm going to show you that once this is, sorry, just trying to lift this up a bit. Okay. All right, let's go for it. So even though I don't need the full plate covered, I'm going to cover the full plate and then I can pick up the whatever doesn't pick up there. I can pick it up after. Yeah, you could do that. You could put them like that. You could layer them. That would be a cool little diorama. Okay. Let's go for it. So you want to make sure you put enough paint on, because if you're going back and forth and it's starting to dry, you're going to get your paint lifting off. So I put lots on there, but I don't want a super thick layer. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm brayering off the excess paint, and metallic paints dry pretty quick, so you want to, I think I said about there, right? So I'm going to push down really hard, and then I'm going to move this aside and put a book on it. So I'm going to just move this to my island. Trying to be careful to not let it lose contact. And then I'm going to put a bunch of heavy books on top of that. So I had a bunch of heavy books here at the ready. So we're going to balance those and cross our fingers. We'll see. I mean, it's obviously not going to come off into the indentations, but for that, I thought I could use these fine liners that I got and either fill it with black or gold and fill in the indentations with that. So we'll see if it works. Hi, Carrie. Okay, so we can do another print just for fun, but maybe I'm just going to check see if there's anything else I wanted to share. Oh yes, so I wanted to share my Prisma pencil case. I did got this case. It's a 220 holder, holds 220 pencils, but it is the type that is, I like the, oh, thank you. I just had a handsome gentleman bring me my coffee. Thank you, handsome gentleman. I forgot it in the coffee maker. Hi, Brenda. So I like the ones that have the three, you put 3 pencils. So I'm missing some pencils because I'm working on a project. That's why they're missing. Let me just see if I can, let me zoom out a bit. Okay, so I organized them by color and then I made these swatch sheets. So it's handy because you can take them out and go, oh, what color do I want? Oh, I think I want, you know, I want this color here. It matches better. So that's why I swatched it like that. And then also when I'm looking for a pencil, I've got the number and I've got the name, and then it's easy to put back. You guys can't see that. Oh, maybe you can. So then I've got, I just put the French grays and the warm grays here because I didn't have another spot for them. And then I've got my reds to oranges to, sorry, yellow to oranges to red to pink, pink to like maroon, some neutrals to brown, reddish browns. And then I've got purples to purpley blues to cool gray. And then, and see the technique using the transparency and the alcohol inks was inspired by Therese's Crafty Cabana. She did a recent video doing that. Oh, I did a link above if you can find it, but I'm going to link it in the description. To do on the ceramic, it was just an idea I had when I saw that DIY ceramic vase at Michael's. So I've been wanting to do that for a while. So then blues to turquoise to greens, and then to like neutral, natural browns. And then I've got, oh, that's in there. I've got my little collection of whole beans, my little collection of the Faber-Castell Black Edition. And then I found these Posca pencil 24 set at my Walmart for $8 Canadian. So I got those, and that's this case. So I have a similar case that I'm going to organize my polychromos because I recently just bought a full set at from Amazon Marketplace. So I like that I can take this out, I can put it back, and then I know where to put my pencils because I hate wasting time looking for the right color. So I'm very happy with how that is working out. Okay, so we're going to let that dry really well before we attempt to take it off. This is how I organize my alcohol inks. I haven't showed this in a while. So I have these cases from Tim Holtz. It's the alcohol ink storage tin. And the inks, the bottles just sit in there. There's a little plastic holder for them. So they're very easy. And again, I'm a swatcher. I like to have a home for my stuff and know where it goes back. Because if you put things back in their home, you can always find them. So I made this swatch sheet using photo paper. I used the back side of the photo paper to make the swatch sheet. So this fits here like that. And then this, when I got it open, I can just put it inside my lid there so I know what I'm reaching for. And I've got this set here. So some of these are missing because they're like on my desk. This one's not full, but this is the second tin that I have. And then these pearl ones I also swatched onto a black glossy paper. These are all Ranger alcohol inks except for this copper and this gold. Those are the Piñata, because those are my favorite copper and gold in the alcohol inks. I don't really like the gold, the alloys. You have to heat set those. I don't like that. These are okay, but I really like the Piñata gold. Ivy Pearl says she's a swatcher too. I'm a swatcher, you're a swatcher. Wouldn't you like to be a swatcher too? Let's see. Okay, it looks like it might be working. I can see, or is that a shadow? I'm not sure if it's a shadow or if the paint actually picked up. We shall see. I think that was everything. I mentioned at the beginning that I did a impromptu flip through of my meander journal that we started. I started on the New Year's Day streamathon. So I did a full flip through that, including screenshots of how the pages looked before I added the collage and the ink tents and stuff. And I showed this. This is my birch tree piece that I've been working using one of my stencil designs. And I'll do a flip through, a process showcase of that once it's done. It's not done yet. Oh, I pulled this out to show. Today on her stream, Dee Dee was showing her napkin journal. And I was very, very lucky that Dee Dee had this extra napkin journal that she sent to me. So she started this and I'm going to add to it. And the reason she sent it to me is because she saw this. She was decluttering her journals and she found this page with the Juliet Crane colored bear, Jane Davenport napkin, some other napkins. And it says, if lost, please return to Devin or Debbie. Because I think we said these look like a circus clown that was lost. So she sent me the whole journal. So I've got some things put aside, some art by Marlene that I think this was sent to me by Joanne Newman. But I thought I could add to it. So I've got like different art by Marlene's. So what I might do is take pictures of the before and then the after. So Dee Dee did a really psychedelic page today where she added her images over the napkins and then painted it out and stuff. So check out Dee Dee's live stream from today if you don't know what a napkin journal is. And so then once this is done, I'll do a flip through Friday. I like that hashtag. I actually did it live because I'd been meaning to edit that video for a long time and I just never did. So I thought I'll just do it live. I don't like editing anymore. It's too much work. So these pieces are what I put aside to maybe add to this page. The background is all stuff that Dee Dee put down already. So I thought that would be fun. The turtle on one of these pages. This is art by Marlene that Joanne sent me. So again, this is, I thought that would be cute. I don't know, it might cover her too much though. I could cover her. I've got another one of that, or I might find a different spot for that. So I just want to do a little mini flip through in progress of this sort of a traveler size journal that Dee Dee sent me to work on. And these stickers I think will look cute here. I think I'm going to put them in the trees. So thank you, Dee Dee, for sending this to me. And one of the reasons I stopped streaming every week is I found I was either cleaning up or preparing for a stream and I wasn't getting anything else done. I would just kind of get a project half done and then I'd move on to the next thing for the next week. So that's my idea of not streaming every week. So if I do that and actually get stuff done, I can do these hashtag flip through Friday extra streams, you know? All right, so this one, instead of doing the stencil, let's just, We could just do the ink on here, or I do like the paint. I do like the stencil idea though. I'm tempted to pull that one to see how it worked, but I'm thinking. Do I want to do a stencil? Oh no, I was going to show you guys something, wasn't I? Here. This was alcohol ink on a canvas that I did on a live stream, and it's been out in the air, exposed to sunlight in my room. And I never got around to spraying it with the UV gloss, and it's still quite vibrant. I didn't spray it because I didn't finish the sides yet. See, it's another thing that I never finished. So this was a boot that I had done my own mask for, and we did that, probably a couple years ago, and I didn't date it. I'll have to date it. So yeah, so even though they're not, permanent, I don't know, it didn't fade too bad. So especially like a magenta, like a pinks usually are notorious for fading. So, but I will, if I get this vase finished, I will spray it with the UV gloss. Okay, let's do another one. What if we just do some paint? Let's just do some black, and then we'll just kind of make a pattern using the alcohol ink, like the alcohol spray, to just kind of make it blobby. Therese used, I don't know if it's Therese or Teresa, because there's an E at the end. It's not a A at the end. So I'm just going to kind of make some spaces using the alcohol ink and some paper. Okay, and then we could also, I do have this stamp. This is a PM Artist Studio foam stamp. As it gets stickier, you can actually get more paint off. Oh, that was the other thing that Therese, my Crafty Cabana, did, is she used her gold leaf. So when alcohol ink is sort of still drying but still sticky, you can put the gold leaf papers on it, and it'll pick up some gold. So we could try that. Although I think she did it, it wouldn't really show on the gel plate. I think she did it on the gel plate though. I can't remember. Okay, so that, let's see. Is that gonna have enough white space to show the alcohol ink through? And you don't have to put paint on. I think it will. All right. Let's use, I didn't really use like a bright blue last time. Let's use a darker blue. Like this, this indigo blue. Let's use that. Yeah, editing's like, people don't understand when they criticize editing videos, like videos that have been edited and someone put the time in to slow things down, speed them up, add music, blah, blah, blah. And people are like, I don't like the music. It's like, you know what? Why don't you try to edit a video? I'm sorry, but you can turn the volume down if you don't like the music, you know? feel like this is just reactivating the black paint. I don't think it's dry enough yet. Let's see. See, the black paint's coming off on here. Maybe I need to not add. I think I need to not add the spray. Yeah, it's hard. You can put like hours into editing. This is a Sophia button stamp. If you use your foam stamps with acrylic, make sure you wipe them. Okay, I'm gonna just dry this a bit more. So this is just a transparency film I'm using. See, a lot of it came off onto here. Okay, so I think I'm not gonna spray. Let's use this color here. Did I say hi to you, Joyce? Thanks for coming, everybody. I know this, I've been kind of all over the place on this one. I didn't find that the alcohol spray reactivated the paint when I did the other one, but okay, let's use, I'm thinking this flamingo pink might be cool. This is pearlescent. No, this is enchanted. Sorry, enchanted. But I don't think I have anything left in there. Hi, Joanne. Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, I kind of like those just drippy. I like that, like that. Maybe a little bit of orange splendor. So I'm on next week. Anne is away on vacation, and she was hoping she'd be able to stream from her location, but she doesn't think she will be able to. So she asked if I could do next week. So I'm going to do next week, and Anne's going to do the last couple weeks of August. So I might do an impromptu on a random day instead, if I have something to show. If not, we'll see you in September. Okay, that's cool. And so we got blue. What's this color? Boysenberry, orange, and pink. What other color? Oh, maybe we'll use this rich gold, the pinata gold, and then we'll pick it up with metallic white. Let's do that. Okay, so I need my little. These are very handy if you use alcohol inks. If you use alcohol inks on your gel plate will turn yellow very fast. So if if you want your plate to be pristine, well, this is almost done. Gonna need more. Gonna have to go to the art store. I used to have a local scrapbook store, but they closed. Okay, let's spread that a little bit. Okay. Cool. And I didn't really do that one very well. Let's do a bit more up here. Let's dry it. Where's my Okay, let's turn it over and see how it's looking. So you do want brightness behind your alcohol inks. So always, you have to think reverse when you're gel printing. So this is going to be all on top of what your pull color. So I'm going to use a light color to pull so that everything shines. You could even do like a bit of, I'm going to spritz a little bit just to make some like little dots. Just to make it a little bit more textury. I'm holding it quite far away so that I don't get huge drips. But you, like I said, you have to work in a well ventilated area. Okay, I'll let that sit a little bit. You can see it's doing a little bit of the, I don't know if you can see that, the spray I did. It's just a little bit of texture. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry and then we'll pull it. And because we already have gold on here, I'm going to use the metallic white to pull it. So just drying it off. I could use the fan, but I don't know. I already had this out. Okay. Still sticky there. I also pulled out this stamp from Paper Artsy. I thought it was pretty cool, but maybe we could stamp that on top of the print when it comes off. So what am I going to pull this on before I get my paint on there? So here's our transparency so far. Those two. And like Beth was saying, you could like overlap them to make like an abstract landscape. Oh, those are sticking a little bit. So you can overlap them. Sorry, I'm not showing that very well. They're not very straight. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, Ivy Pearl. If you want your plate to stay white and you have and you want to use alcohol inks, then yes, you should have. I did that for a while. I had one plate for alcohol inks and one for regular, and then that didn't last. Okay, let's pull this. And then I'm hoping that the I didn't decide on the paper, did I? Let's use this 28-pound Staples bright white copy paper. This might be cool with some different colors behind it, though. Let's see. I'm changing my mind. Instead of this white, I'm going to pull it with, where is it? My blue PBO, this one, blue green iridescent. And I'll add a little bit of white because I didn't get enough on there. All right. How's everybody in chat doing? Oh, I'm gonna put this on here because, ooh, that is very mucky. I'm gonna have to spray that with alcohol, I think, and clean it. Okay. Hello, Not So Ordinary. Thank you if you're talking to me, or I think you're talking to Carol. Yes. Carol, my quiet corner, she comes on after me and she does a lot of different things. Like she even does woodworking, like wood carving and leather journal carving and stuff. Okay, so we're gonna pull our vase and see what happened. I didn't look at the time, but I think it's been about half an hour. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside. I think that's gonna look pretty cool. All right, I'm taking the books off. So I had 4 heavy books sitting on top of this. Okay, drum roll. Now I'm gonna lift this up and maybe pull the plate off of the, ooh, I think it worked. Oh, no, it didn't. Parts of it worked. I got the top part and the bottom part, but not the middle. But that looks cool. Did you see the crackle? I think what I could do, let's try, I'm gonna use matte medium and I'm gonna squish it down. This time I think I'm gonna put it on and then flip the whole thing and have it that way. Let's try that. I think it's worth a try because I'm liking that. I think that's looking kind of cool. So let's see, I'm gonna try to place it in the same spot. Where's my matte medium? I'm gonna try the matte medium. I'm just gonna put it on this part here. Oh, sorry, that's so loud. Okay, let's try it. Never give up, never surrender. Oh, is there black on there? No. Okay. So I'm gonna try to, excuse my face. Nope, how am I gonna get that on there? I'm gonna try to line it up. Okay, I'm gonna roll this over like that. And I'm gonna push. I can see I kind of missed, but I'm just gonna push down manually. Maybe this would be the way to do it. Hey, Janet. Now we're pulling out the MacGyver. So I'm pushing. You can see it move when I push down. So the middle part's the part that didn't really get the paint to stick. So I'm just gonna hold that down. Have a sip of coffee. Now the matte medium does take a while to dry, so I'm not going to I can't just hold it the whole time. Okay, so I'm going to move this over there and put the book on top again. And see, move it like a sandwich. And then put 4 books back on top. And we'll see if we can get that to stick. If not, we can just, maybe on the other sides, I'll just do collage. I'll use some medical exam paper or something. I think I got my vase at Michael's, I think. Probably in the sales section, and that was a few months ago. It's called DIY Ceranic Decor. Okay, this is still, so it's cool to the touch, so that means this is still wet. So I'm going to get my fan out, my little handy dandy fan. What's the hashtag thing about Friday? It's called, it's hosted by Gwen the Trash Witch, and it's called hashtag Flip Through Friday. I will write that down. Hi, K-pop. Hashtag Flip Through Friday. And it's an open invite collab where people just post their flip throughs of things. Now, what if I'm wondering, what if I put this in here? Would that be cool? You could just staple it and then whoops, we've got to fan down. Okay, let me move this Prisma pencil case. So I usually try to show you guys like different things. Like I'm interested in a lot of different things, which, you know, feels like there's not enough time in the day to get to everything I want to get to. But, and I wouldn't say I get bored of doing things. I just find that I just like doing a lot of different things. Fan down. I don't know. I feel like it should go in here somewhere. Maybe this needs to go here. That's kind of cool. Do you guys think if I did that, should I put this guy on underneath and then just staple this on top? Ooh, I think there. And I can use the alcohol to just sort of serial hobbyist. Jolu calls it variety. Okay, I'm just going to soften this part here a little bit. Because alcohol ink, it's not permanent, it moves. You can move it. Let's see. Gina is watercoloring her small bird stamps on cardstock. That's cool. I do like this piece here. I don't know why. Now I want to add a bit of alcohol ink to this corner. K-pop, I forgot your name's Aubrey. That's a cool name. I'm going to add just a little bit. So you don't need a gel plate to play with alcohol inks. I'm going to add just a little bit to this corner here. I used to do like paintings just with alcohol ink. So when I smudged it a bit with the baby wipe, that was using alcohol on the baby wipe. I almost put that in my coffee. Okay, so I'm going to just spray a little bit of alcohol on my baby wipe. We really got off track here, off topic, but that's okay. That's why mixed media is fun, because you don't have to just use it for one thing. At least that's why I like it. And I like coloring with mixed media. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to glue this bird down using my Eileen's Tacky Glue. Squirrel art, yeah. Squirrel. So right about there we said, right? And this is the napkin journal that Dee Dee had started and she sent to me when she downsized a lot of her art journals. And if you missed her today, she worked in one of her old magazine journals. It was really fun. Which is why I took out this. That's what made me think to take out this. So I'm always squirreling. It's like I saw Therese's Crafty Cabana do that cool alcohol ink with the transparency. Let's try that. Oh, let's put it to a magazine journal like I just saw Dee Dee working on today. Like, just let things inspire you and just go for it. So that, I'm going to just use the, no, it's pretty much dry. It's pretty much dry. So now I got to cut this to fit, and then I'm just going to staple it. Okay, so I'm going to cut here. Okay, and I'm going to cut here. Look what I'll do. I'm going to staple it first, and then I'll turn it over and cut it. Let me get my stapler. Sorry for the ads, guys. I do have colored staples somewhere. I think they're in my thing here. Yes. So I have these colored staples. On this tiny attacher. I think it fits in here. How do I open this again? Yeah. Okay, so let's do, what color staples? Yeah, these aren't real. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this. Maybe I should put that there. He's like, what? Oh, these are huge. Some of these are really big and some are small. Which ones are gonna fit? I think these ones will fit. I'm just gonna use these teal colored ones. So I put this here and then I slide that back in. Okay, And then I'm just going to staple that puppy on there. There we go. And then we're going to cut. So someday I'll get this finished and I'll do a hashtag flip through Friday. So that's fun. Got that. And we could do one on the other side so that it sort of matches. We could make, what if we made a crown? And then we use some gold. Because there's a bit of gold there. We can put some gold on here. I think it should stay. Is it wiping off? I don't know. You know what? You don't know unless you try. So maybe it's because, let's try it on this side. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, splatter. Put your cap on if you're going to shake. Oh no, Anne. What are you going to do? Are you going to get on that flight or are you going to take the money? You could go stay with Dee Dee tonight. She'll put you up tonight and then you can take the flight tomorrow. Okay, this isn't working, so I'm going to use some gold paint. Hey, Vale. Yeah, we're kind of all over the place today. Well, not, I mean, we usually are. There, I'm just going to use this on my finger. This is that inkjet printable transparency stuff. So we're going to put that there, or we could put it this way. That might look cooler. I think at an angle. And then I wonder if my stapler will reach. What's on the other side? We'll figure it out. Staple it here. Hi, Star Traveler. Did I make those transparencies? So I made them when I was doing my gel print today. That's how these got colorized. So that's alcohol ink on the transparency via the gel plate. So I think, oh, where's the lid for that? Here it is. I think that's pretty good. And like these types of journals, you can just add to them as you want. So it says Sea Queen. I think that's why I wanted to put this one there, but then I ended up putting the bird there. Maybe I'll just emphasize the word queen with a Pitt pen. Do I have a black or a Posca? So this actually says queen here. And it does say sea queen, but we put a parrot. All right, let me put these staples away in my little drawer. Let's pull this print. Where did I have these? I had them back here. So that's kind of fun. All right, let's pull this. Thanks, Star. Ooh, I like the added texture of the mist of alcohol. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys that up close and personal here. I would like these colors on my vase because my house is a lot of this blue color, but let's do a up close zoom by. And there's certain areas that I really love. So this would be cool. These would be great cards even, like if you took a mat and you found areas that you liked, you could make some cool greeting cards or ATCs. See, I like this piece right here. I like that. Or even like a piece of art to frame. See how shiny? Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. So I don't know if you can see the texture from the spray. Like here, that is the texture from just misting the alcohol ink, full strength from a distance. That's giving that texture. So, you know, I was watching, was it Kit Bell or who was I was watching someone, they were talking about how it's in relation to jelly printing, how you get some prints that are good and some prints that are interesting, and the interesting ones give you ideas to explore at a later date. So now my mind is racing. I'm thinking, oh, I could do a botanical gel print with black paint, and then I could add alcohol inks, and I could spritz it, and I could pick it up. Like my brain is going zoot, 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 zoot right now. Like I'm just thinking there's just so many possibilities with that. And I loved Therese's Crafty Cabana. I wrote it down. And I'm going to link it in the show. Her idea of using transparency to spread the alcohol ink was just really, really cool. Apple says that was Kit Bell in her latest video. Thank you, Apple. Oh, I just can't stop looking at that. All right, let's see if our vase worked. It's 12:28. I could wait. Let's wait. Because I have about half an hour, don't I? I have half an hour. That might be enough time to do another one of these. I wish I had a, oh, I do have a leaf here. Ooh. Let's do that. I've saved some of my botanical things for gel printing. I press them into here. So what if we use What if we use this and this? And one of these and try that idea. Let's try it. I think we have at least some time to do it. Okay. So I've got them pressed in this big coffee table book that I got at the thrift store. All right, so I'm gonna get some black paint. And I think when I pick it up, I'm going to use, like when I pick the paint up, I'm going to use tissue paper, but I'm going to crumple it so that it leaves an impression. Just a second here. Okay, crumple that. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. You never know. Got some paint bookers here. Oh no, I forgot. I've got my new press-on nails on, and that's gonna be quite a cleaning endeavor. Oh well. Okay. Let's move this over here. Sorry, I should have a white paper under my gel plate for you to see, but I don't have that right now. Let's move this mermaid out of here, out of harm's way. Let's put that down, that down, and this whirly bird thing like that. And let's make our imprint. Bye, Carrie. Have a great day. All right. So that's why I crackled the paper so that we'd have more texture there. Ooh, I like it. So these are dried, and now I have to let that paint dry. I'm just gonna let the paint dry on there before I put it back in its little book spot. Okay, they're very fragile. All right, so we're gonna dry that. Then we'll add our alcohol ink. Have some coffee. I hope I haven't missed too much in chat. I get enthralled in what I'm doing and I forget to look at chat. We've been having a lot of rain, but it's still very dry here overall. So this dries pretty quick. All right, that's dry. So I feel like doing the same colors. I just love those colors. To me, that gives that raku feeling that I was going for on the vase. So let's use those same colors. So what were they? What were they? I know purple is, no, it wasn't purple. It was the blue, this one. And that's the thing about gel printing that we forget. It's mono printing, meaning you only get one print. You can't really reproduce your prints. You can get something similar, but it's never going to be exactly the same. Now I'm very crooked there. Let's try to straighten up, shall we? I don't know what happened. Is that a bit straighter? Okay, this thing. Now I let it dry a little bit there. Oh, it's moving the paint. Let's try. Is it moving the black paint? I can't tell. I'm going to go ahead and spritz this one here. Let's see. don't think it's moving the black paint. Let's see. It's moving it a little bit. So I want to be careful. What was the other color we had? I think we had, oh, we picked it up with the blue. That's what gave that bright blue. So we used this, this one here. Well, thanks, Jaya. Are you going to bed now? Because you're in Indonesia, right? Now I'm going to get another transparency and I'm going to cut it right away because my room's a mess. My room's a mess. Okay, I think I'm going to cut it this way. Where's my scissors? There, I just made a smaller one. I'm just going to do a little bit of that. So this was the, see, I don't know if it's, I think what would work better would be to do the print maybe without the paint. I'm not sure. Okay. Let's add, I think we did this orange. Okay. That's the pearlescent orange. I'm going to go on the other side. So I'm going on the back surface of this so that they don't mix too much. Yeah, I do have to spray it. Okay, I'm hoping I'm not going to lose the, oh, I think I'm, so just because you have an idea, it might not work. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest without this. I'm going to use my blower thing. And we wanted to use the gold. The gold, I did use little stripes, didn't I? What if I do just a little bit at a time without spraying it? This gold is very thick. What if we do a lot of what if, right? What if we put it on here, spray it, and then smoosh it, like veining. Okay, I feel like I need another bit of gold here. I kind of like that, putting it on there, spraying it, and then just kind of lightly dragging. And let's do some green. we didn't do green in that other one, did we? Oh, we did some. I think it was the mineral. Was it mineral? Terracotta? I can't remember. Ugh, that doesn't want to work. I'm going to do some green. And try to do this right away before it dries. Sorry, I'm talking really quietly now because I'm in experimental mode. Ooh, I think I pulled too much there. Okay, let's dry that. I'm going to put just a little bit more of this dark blue. Devin in the flow, that's right. Just going to do a little bit of this dark blue. I do want to spread it though. Okay, here, I'm going to spray on here. Spraying on my transparency so it doesn't get down to that paint layer as much, hopefully. Hopefully I didn't obliterate the design. Okay, let's dry it. And then we'll spray our little there's a little bit of a gap here. Yes, Janet's at 1 on Mondays. That's right. And Carol, my Crafty Corner. Well, I say 1, okay, 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. On, oops, went too far with that. And Carol, my Quiet Corner is on at, sorry, having trouble. She's on at after me at 3 Eastern. Okay, so let's pull this. And then I'll get the paint down and then we will reveal the vase, see if it worked. I'm just going to spray a little bit of this from a distance to get just a little bit of droplets. So it's kind of doing its thing. You can see it. Spreading out. Okay, and then we're going to dry it with this. Or we can use the fan. Where's my fan? And then we'll pull it with the white and the PBO blue-green. I'm running low on this. I think I have another bottle, another tube. Put these lids on. So I'm almost out of this pink one. This one I've got to clean up the lid. So if you see something that inspires you, try it and go, what if? What if I do this different? What if I do it this way? And just use your imagination. Here it's still wet. So I don't know if the leaf imprint is still there. Let's take a peek. Still mostly there. I didn't get a lot of color here, but we'll see. All right, we'll do this blue. Gonna have to get some more of this if I don't have some in my stash. I love this color. Okay, and then I added a little bit of the metallic white, just in case I didn't quite have enough. Okay, and let's, oh, that was the wrong one. Okay. Let's, oh, I didn't get my paper out. Okay, and then I'm using that 28-pound Staples paper. So if you have respiratory issues, I don't recommend the alcohol inks. They do, even if it's well ventilated, you do get a smell from them. That is not for everybody. Ideally, I probably should be wearing a mask even, but I'm not. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. And we put the fan on it to the side. We'll see how it looks. And I'm going to grab the vase and we'll see if we got some more of it to stick. All right, so I'm taking the books off. Okay, pull it over here like a sandwich. Hi, Carol's Crafty Canvas. Good to see you. All right, let's see. So sometimes to get stuff to stick better, if you pull your gel plate off, yeah, it's not fully sticking. I feel I'm getting flashbacks of when I tried to do the washi tape, and some of it just didn't work. So that was closer, but maybe what I can do, yeah, I'll show you guys up close. My brain's thinking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off on medical exam tissue, and then I'm going to have to collage it onto here. But where I have these squares, I should be able to match it up so that I get the pattern. So let me put that over here, and let's pull that on some medical exam paper. So this I just get at Amazon, as recommended by Jackie Bernardi and other people. A lot of other people use medical tissue paper. Carnival Wet Strength is great. It's just really expensive for me to get that here in Canada. So I find this works pretty well. Very similarly. I'm just cutting it to size. So we're going to pull that with some matte medium, and then I can collage it onto there. So it'll be similar. I'm just using the Liquitex matte medium. Oh, sorry, that was loud. Yeah, so if you have respiratory issues, I wouldn't try this. I don't want you to spend money and not feel well. This is still a bit sticky, but that's okay. So I'm just going to use matte medium. Matte medium is basically like acrylic paint without the pigment. So okay. So I had a lot of matte medium on there, so it is going to wrinkle a little bit. And where it wrinkles, we might not get a full pickup. Is it stronger than deli paper? I would say no. I think it's similar in strength to deli paper, the medical exam tissue, but I feel like the medical exam tissue goes a little bit more transparent than the deli paper does. That's my feeling. So then I was thinking what I could do is fill up these fine tip and fill that in, but maybe that's, I don't know, that might not. I was thinking gold, like gold would look nice there. But then if I do the tissue, I might have to cut little gold, little squares. I don't know, we'll see. I will show you progress status on that as it evolves. So this we have to let dry. Let's see if this is dry yet. And how are we doing for time? Yeah, I've got 10 minutes. So that's my opinion, that it doesn't go as transparent. And Jackie Bernardi has shown specific ways to use the medical exam paper. So she puts gloss medium on her surface. She wets the medical exam paper with the painting on it, whatever, and then she puts the medical exam paper on top, and then she goes over the surface with gloss gel medium. So gloss gel medium. Yeah, spray the back with water. Yes, and Zen, so if you want it even more transparent, try the gel gloss medium and see if that makes it more transparent. According to Jackie Bernardi, it does. So, all right, let's see if this is ready. So this was the leaf imprint. I think I went too dark with some of my colors, perhaps. If I left it dry longer, I might have gotten all those spots, but I don't mind. So you can't see the leaf as well. So there's definitely something in this idea, but it needs, I need to flesh it out more. Maybe if I do the imprint with white paint, that might be cool. Or just make sure I use lighter colors, like this blue indigo was maybe too dark. So that's what that looks like. And that's what this looks like. So they're similar. So the imprint of the leaf, I was freaking out that it was going away, but it did stay there. It didn't really reactivate too much. Can't see this one very well. But when you turn it, you see. I'm tempted to punch squares, like to cut out little rectangles of this and collage it on there, but that's too much work. That's not gonna happen. Ain't nobody got time for that. So we'll probably do, I'm gonna see if I can wait till this dries before we leave for today. Let me just move that over. Put my fan on. And I'll show you what else we did today. If you came in late, we also worked on this, adding to this magazine journal that Dee sent me. So I did the transparency that had the alcohol ink on it. I just stapled it on there. There's the staples. I could cover this side up with washi tape. And then I made a little crown. Oh, my fan just died. Needs to be recharged. So we did that. So that's kind of fun, like a little transparency crown. You can see through it. So I did that. Yeah, this isn't quite ready yet, I don't think. Let's see. So it's gonna look something like that. Oh, actually, it's coming off. Where it was wrinkled, the paint isn't sticking. That's okay. Let's see if I can get it off pretty well to show you guys what we can do. It's not bad. Oh, it's ripping here because it's not dry. Okay, so there we got our leftover paint from the first pull. So what I could do is I could collage this onto here. Maybe I just rip out, this section and try to add it. Let's try that. I got a couple minutes, I think. What time is it? Oh, I got 4 minutes. So if you want to go check out Carol, she's going to be starting in a few minutes, but I'm going to see if I can collage this on here. I just need a paintbrush. Okay, so I'm going to I'm just going to rip this with water. Okay. I don't want to cut it because I don't want like a harsh line on my vase. So I think for this vase project, I'm definitely going to do medical exam paper printing and then collage it on. So let's try collaging on a piece. We're doing reconstructive surgery on here. So I'm going to put it like that, but I'm going to go ahead and use the gloss medium technique that we just discussed. So I'm going to put the gloss medium directly on here. Need a bigger brush. And then I'm going to spray this with water, lie it on top, and then add more gloss medium. So in theory, this should work. In theory. Okay, so gloss medium. I'm going to spray this medical tissue paper with water. Oh gosh, okay, and then we're gonna stand up and try to put it on. So this is kind of wabi-sabi. Okay, and I'm gonna have to push it down to those indents. Okay, and then more of this gloss gel medium on top. feel like it's not going transparent as much there, but you know what? That's okay. I don't know if I put the gel medium as far down as I should have. Maybe we can rip that. And then I'll have to add more paint on top anyhow, but it's possible when it dries, you might get more transparency. I feel like the pink alcohol ink is spreading though. And I don't really want a pink piece. So what I might do is I might, like, to me, I like these colors more. So I might do some tissue papers in those colors. Kind of rip this here. Try to push that in. Okay, well, it's not bad. What did you say? I have colors in the cracks, that's right. But I was gonna use the fine tip applicator to add gold, I think, in the cracks. So I want to add, I think I'm going to fill this with the Kuretake gold ink and then go in the spaces there. So this probably would work if I had let it set a long time, but I don't know if I'm patient enough to do that. So we'll see how this dries, and then I can like touch up some areas and then add the gold ink into the crevasses. So I think I'm gonna call it a day. So I can probably, maybe what I would do is I would use this piece here to transition to the blue, and then use another strip of this over here to transition to the blue. So I'll keep this side as is, but then I'll end up collaging the other pieces there. I might dab on a bit more paint. And at the end, I'm going to spray it with this UV resistant gloss spray. So that's going to take a few weeks. So next week I'm on Wednesday as well. The following 2 Wednesdays will be Anne Lar. So maybe I'll work on this off camera and show you guys my result, talk about what I did. And yeah, let's see. Coloring View book has a lot of white space. If you check out Coloring View, she's been doing coloring in her Ink House book, but also collage into her Ink House book, and it's very cool. So check out her channel. I'm also going to post the link to the stream that we did together on View's channel. I'll post that in my description. Check it out. We had lots of fun. It was a hoot. Ivy loves painty fingers. Thanks, guys. Hope you had fun. I had fun. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't, but that's life, right? So have fun, experiment, say, what if? What if? Okay, bye-bye. I always have to take this off. Okay, bye, y'all.